Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Once Human video. In today's video, we're gonna be actually covering how to improve your damage, how to melt bosses with ease, what do you need to do, and I'm going to explain damage bonuses on weapons. I also have a full mod sheet list of all weapon mods, so if you don't know where to get them, or if you don't know where to get the gear or weapon mods, just make sure to check out my mod sheet list. Everything is listed there. All the information is written there. Obviously, the first ways to really improve your damage is fully calibrate your weapon, which I'm sure everyone already has done already. And what most people don't know is that you can replace calibration attributes by putting a calibration blueprint. And the way you get this calibration blueprint is you go to any POI and loot weapon crates only. When you loot weapon crates, you have a chance to obtain dropped gear. You go to this assembly bench and disassemble for a legendary blueprint. It has to be the same class, such as a pistol to get pistols. It has to be a assault rifle to get AR blueprints, and it has to be a shotgun to get shotgun blueprints. Same goes for SMGs, and same goes for melee as well. However, if you disassemble a purple one, you will be getting purple, and if you get a blue one, and then you will get a blue blueprint. So that's why you want to go only for legendary ones. That's why my gun has such a big clip size, 72 bullets. Now, you don't really need this, but when you boss, I mean, you can use food buffs like canned meat if you're using shrapnel, used to increase character shrapnel damage by 20%. Then there's French fries that give you weapon damage, used to increase weapon damage by 20% while in Fortress Warfare. There's this assorted canned fruit, and you need deviated beet and a coconut to make this. The way you get deviated beets, you should just grow beets basically with fertilizers and hopefully hope that you will get it deviated. And this one just increases your weak spot damage by 25% when sanity is above 80%. Then there's the whimsical drink that gives you more status damage. However, for all of these good buffs, you need deviated plants, which in my case, I wouldn't really use these food buffs for bossing. You don't really need them. Well, the cheapest food buff to make would be this. If you take a look, there's a food buff called pan-fried fish. Not many people know this, maybe like 1% in the game know about this, but you can stack this food buffs. And I mean, if you eat the weak spot damage plus 5%, then you will be getting that. And then you can change the fish type to another one, which is crit damage plus 5%. You can eat that as well. And that's going to be 2 food buffs. The last one would be slightly increased fire rate, the sea base. It says slightly, but fire rate 10% is quite a decent amount actually. If you ate that one and the other 2 food buffs that I mentioned right now, you can eat 3 pan-fried fish and all 3 of them will stack. That's gonna boost your damage, although it is quite annoying to fish in this game. So now there are people saying that I am faking my videos or something, that I'm faking my DPS because I'm speeding up videos. I've seen some people like say that behind my back. I don't clickbait my videos, I don't fake my videos. I've made a build guide for Icy Rain, and on the intro you can see how fast my gun is firing. And the only reason why it shot so fast is because I had the food buff. Now, one thing people don't understand about armors is that if you're using a elemental weapon, armor tiers, which are legendary, purple, blue, have their own PSI intensity. If you're gonna use purple armor, they all gonna have the same PSI intensity, except if you upgrade the armor by stars. And the way you upgrade them by stars is you right click on the weapon, click BP locked, and then you put in the blueprint. You can see that my agent part is already fully upgraded to 5, so I cannot upgrade it more. The way you get these armor parts is by rolling in Wish Machine. Basically, you click on any category, you click play. Most blueprints are found in Echoes from the Rift, and to unlock it, you need to first complete this one, fill out all the blueprints, which means you have to roll and make it 0, 0, 0 out of 8 and 1 to unlock Echoes from the Rift. Once you unlock Echoes from the Rift, you can click here on the exclamation mark, what it drops, and if you roll here, you have chances to get additional scout blueprints. Over here, scout mask, scout shoes, blah, blah, blah. You can get full blueprints. You can also get additional blueprints. And with these blueprints, additional blueprints that you roll from this wish machine, you click all blueprints, armor, right click, and you just put them in your weapon or gear. Now, of course, by just looting mystical crates, you won't have enough, so you will only have enough if you craft armor 1 part and upgrade it max. You can see I have a heavy duty top. You can get up to 90 heavy duty parts, so you can craft 1 part of it and then just upgrade it fully to 5. You cannot really get all heavy duty armor parts and upgrade them to 5 stars. Now, the reason why you need to upgrade them is because upgrading armors will give you PSI intensity. On the screen, you can see a 0 upgraded agent part, and then versus 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 upgraded parts. That's what happens when you upgrade your armor to level 2, level 3, and so on and forth. Now, PSI intensity, how it works is that the higher you have it, the more damage you're gonna do with elemental damage. As if you did not know, for the MP7 build, for example, if we click X on keyword, Power Surge deals status damage of 50% PSI intensity. So its damage is based off PSI intensity. We have 912. Of course, if you go to accessory and put better ammo, if you use copper ammo, well, then your damage is going to be poopy, 793, which is terrible. And that's why you want to use tungsten AP ammo. However, if you use gold ammo, which is this, lethal SMG ammo, there's the smart SMG AP ammo, there's the shock ammo, which you can see if you use this ammo for the MP7, that would be great, but this ammo is so expensive to craft, you need gold ore for it. But if you did use this, you're gonna get 15% PSI intensity and you're gonna get 12% PSI intensity. So in total, you're gonna get 27%. But you have to trigger Power Surge while you're shooting others. So you would have to trigger it, and once you trigger, you will have that PSI intensity increase. So you need to use tungsten AP ammo for that 15% PSI intensity. If you're wondering why is your damage so low, well, if you're using copper ammo, then that's why. And of course, you can combine armor parts, but there's really no much difference. It's only good for PvE. But in PvP, if you go in all for damage and get all these 3 to 4 pieces of armors, you're going to be a glass cannon. And if you don't wear like damage reducing armors or like armors that give you HP, such as the scout one, you're just gonna have not enough HP and you're just gonna get melted by other people. So you need that balance for PvP. However, if you PvE, go all in on damage, bro. It doesn't really matter. Like, you could get 3 shelter pieces if you're using the MP7 build, and that would be fine completely for the PvE. So we have our DA50BP blueprint over here. It's a green blueprint, right? If you right click on this weapon and click details, you can see that this gun has no elemental attributes or damage bonus. So you're not getting any damage bonus when you're killing enemies. But now if we take a look at this R500 Hunter BP, which is obtained in the starter area from Rotten Manor, you can find it there. This pistol, once you right click on it and go to details, it says that impact, dealing more damage against protocell. Now you might be wondering, what is protocell? I'm gonna craft this gun, I'm gonna show you. If we take a look at this zombie, if I shoot it in the head, I do 1,551 damage, 1,800, 1,796. So this is actually not a zombie that we killed, this is a deviant that we killed. Deviations are these things that you find in the wild and you put them in your unit cage. You can see right here. But deviants are actually the mobs that you kill and find in the wild, like this one. So you can see we're not doing that much damage, we're doing around 1,700. But if we went to this guy, these zombies, these dudes, actually, if I shot them in the head, I will do way more damage. Look at this. 2.4k, 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 2.4k. And the reason why we're doing that 2.4k damage is because, ladies and gentlemen, this gun is dealing more damage against protocell. What is protocell? The 2 zombies that we just killed is protocell type of zombies. So this zombie is also a protocell. You can see that we're doing more damage all the time to them. If I was using a different gun, however, Jaws, I have Jaws and it's a legendary blueprint. It's doing 751 damage and this pistol is doing 796. Who do you think is going to do more damage, the Jaws or the pistol? You might be wondering, the pistol, right? Well, you're correct. The pistol will do more damage. We're doing 1,000 damage. It's because the Jaws pistol is dealing more damage against deviants, not protocell. And you can see right off the bat we're doing 1,929 headshot damage to that deviant. Just like that. Whenever you craft weapons or whenever you look at other weapons, you can basically right click on them, click on details, and it says right here, penetration, dealing more damage against Rosetta. That's the main thing you have to look for in guns whenever you're clearing silos or whatever. These damage bonuses apply only to PvE though, however. They don't really matter for PvP. So how do you know if a mob is a protocell or a deviant? Well, deviants just look like these things, aliens. If you see them having these purple glowing things on their skin, they're deviants. Why are you shooting me, bro? You think you have a better gun than me? Nah. However, this one that I'm shooting right now has more health and HP, and this is considered a elite mob, not a normal enemy. So if you had more damage against elite enemies, you will do more damage. However, normal enemies' damage will not work against this mob. Elite enemies drop better loot, so like cortex, weapons, gear when you kill them, so that's considered a elite mob. They will always drop items marked as blue. If you're using such gun like this, MP7 Outer Space, this is my main gun right now in my build. That's what I use. And this gun has suppression, dealing more damage against deviants. On the attachments, you can see we have damage against normal enemies. Normal enemies are considered enemies that are small, which is the deviants, the protocell, and Rosetta. Rosetta also counts as a normal enemy. You will just do more damage to them when shooting them. So we have damage against normal enemies. We have damage against elite enemies. And then we have damage against great ones. So for example, normal enemies damage increases your damage against this. So basically, when you shoot this dummy, you'll just do more damage against it. Because it's considered as a deviant. If I basically change my mods, like right now my mods have damage against normal enemies plus 10%. I have the status damage buff here. It gives me 20% status damage. It gives me 3.2% elemental damage. We do not have a subset called damage against normal enemies. So if I put this on, our damage is going to be lower by 300 to 200. We're doing 2019 elemental damage with the status enhancement. And if I put the elemental overload now that has the damage against normal enemies, instantly our damage is 2262. You can see how much it has increased. So that is why when you do PvE, you want to use and care about substats that has a damage against normal enemies, damage against elite mobs, and basically damage against the great ones. Now you might be wondering, what is elite enemies? What's the difference between normal enemies, elite enemies, and great ones? We're gonna quickly run through a hard mode silo. I'm gonna explain you every single type enemy I find here and encounter of what type they are. These enemies are considered protocell. If I shot them, I did 1988 damage. Now they might have their heads glowing purple, but these are protocell zombies or normal enemies. So this mob is also a protocell. They're zombies, except they just have armor on them. You can see that they are mutated vultures because vultures literally wear the same armor. Vultures are also considered normal enemies, by the way. Now these ones are deviants because they look like aliens, right? They die very fast though, because we have enough damage bonus for normal enemies. Now, we don't really have to kill these zombies. I'm just giving an example. This is not how you do this silo. But let's go a little bit deeper. Now we know what protocells and deviants are. And now let's turn the statue. In silos, we do not have great ones. The great ones are considered mobs that you fight in the monoliths. This mob right here that we are gonna fight is considered a elite enemy. Rotate the statues. This thing is gonna spawn. Now, you can do more damage if you have having it fight alongside grants damage 50% against deviants. This mob is considered a deviant. It's not a protocell. It looks like an alien. It has 4 legs. It's some random ass looking mob, so it's a deviant. This also is a deviant. Boom. Anyways, if you want to do more damage, you can summon your deviant, and then you can also use a crossbow for more damage, although I didn't bring my crossbow. Basically, I swap to my sniper, shoot the weak spot once, and then summon my deviant, and then you just melt the boss in one go. Like that. One magged the dude. And you can see the swarm spawned, and I was still able to kill the boss fairly quickly without having to kill the flies. But anyways, the reason why we did so much damage is because of the deviant. You summon the deviant, you'll just do way more damage in your clip or per clip. I'm gonna claim eliminate minimum gain because there's no point to claim or waste my controllers for the silo. Also, it's a good way to get energy links and Stardosaurs. If you do this, you just literally claim minimum gain and free loot for you. So that boss that we just killed was a elite enemy. It was not the great one, and I will tell you why a little bit later. Actually, this whole salad that we are clearing right now has literally no great ones. This is also a elite enemy, so and let's melt the boss real quick. I didn't even summon my deviant. You can see how fast it dies. We have to shoot the eggs over there, and here, and one there. Brrr, look at that. Oh man, it should have died. And the reason it's taking less damage is because of the flies spawning in. So here's another thing I will have to talk about. Elite enemies are not considered normal enemies. So if you have damage against normal enemies, that damage is not going to work against elite enemies, neither great ones. If you press details on the silo here, if you go to normal mode, you cannot see any debuffs on the bottom left. But if you go to the hard mode, or if you go to pro mode is no difference than hard mode. It's just the mobs have more HP basically, and they have a higher level. But on hard mode, you can see that battlefield mutation effect suppression damage plus 25% against deviants. So if you do the silo with a weapon that has suppression damage, then your damage is going to be more by 25%. These buffs, or I like to call it debuffs, rotate every week. You can see right here. In hard mode, random mutations take effect on the battlefield. Battlefield mutations apply to all combat units except bosses, while rift mutations apply to bosses and grade ones only. Mutations refresh at 24, basically at midnight every Sunday. So today is Saturday. This is gonna reset tomorrow, I guess. So on Monday, basically. And the next one here is the enemy takes plus 10% damage, but there's a chance that a spider or a swarm will appear nearby. And then the last one is when the boss HP falls below 33%, it will summon 9 swarms. Basically, when these flies spawn, you have to kill them. And when you kill one fly, you will gain back that 10% damage. Until you kill all 9, your damage will be fine again. So really, you don't have to kill these flies, but your damage will be very low, so you will have to kill these flies. We are at a silo PSI hard, and just right off the bat, before you enter, just take a look on the bottom left. It says penetration damage plus 25% against Rosetta. Side effects, the enemy takes 80% damage in normal state and 115% damage when affected by continuous damage effects. Continuous debuff, continuous debuff, continuous debuff, continuous debuff, continuous debuff. So what this debuff means right here, enemies that don't have a debuff, like they're not affected by burn, they're not burning, they're not in frost vortex, they're not marked by bullseye, they're gonna take 15% damage less. But when you mark them, when you burn them or inflict any debuff, any continuous debuff, which could be frost vortex, basically enemies are just gonna take more damage as long as that debuff is still applied to them. And the last one is bosses deal more damage as their HP decreases to a maximum 30% damage when HP falls to 20%. Well, that explains everything. So in this room, we are now at the fridge boss. There is Rosetta, that is Rosetta enemy type. And then the fridge boss is considered a elite enemy. It's not a grade one, it's just an elite enemy. So now we are at the monolith. And if I go to hard mode Araxium Spider, we're gonna be doing Spider. It says impact damage plus 25%. If you use any other weapon than impact, the Icy Rain is not impact. It gives you penetration, dealing more damage against Rosetta. The Wrath of Haze is also penetration, damage against Rosetta. But the revolver has impact, dealing more damage against Protocell. So any gun that has impact damage will be perfect for this boss, and you'll just do 25% more damage. Tactical combo, grade ones enjoy a plus 10% HP boost, but will become vulnerable when taking damage from tactical items, causing them to take plus 20% damage for the next 10 seconds. So I guess if you just throw a grenade at them, you'll do more damage. That's why it's perfect to use this after using a tactical item, damage against the grade ones, bosses, plus 25% for 15 seconds. We're gonna craft throwing daggers because this is a tactical item. A versatile weapon designed for swift and deadly kills. These deals damage equal to 400. Basically, the damage doesn't matter. What matters here is that we are gonna craft some of them. They're gonna take quite a bit to craft, but I'm gonna just place more furniture like that. Split it, get some more daggers. Boom, boom. They cost logs and scrap. Easy to get that. I've never had a problem with scrap. And now we wait till they're done. All my daggers have been finished. Now I can get rid of these. I'm actually going to take tactical items, which are grenades at this point. Now when you clear these silos or bosses in general, you have to also pay attention to what deviant you use. So if you, for example, use this Lone Wolf Whisper and scroll down in the unit, it says autonomously attacks enemy targets and attracts the aggro from nearby enemies. When a target dies, it spawns a clone. Increases weapon damage received by the attack target by 21.6%. Now, I haven't really used this deviant, so you would have to play around with all the deviants. If I press withdraw, you can change the deviant to like a polar jelly. Scroll down. It says frost status damage to surrounding enemies and force them to move towards you. Increases frost damage received by surrounding targets by 27%. If frost vortexes are formed inside the radius, create additional ice spikes. Every deviant is basically different, but if you're using a gold scar for PvE, which in this case would be this, then you would have probably want to use deviants that increase your damage in weapon damage, which would be the Lone Wolf's Whisper, the dog, which you get from the Shadow Hound. Alright, we are back at the monolith. Let's do the spider boss now. And since the dungeon has a debuff, which is this, the tactical stuff combo thingy, we will also benefit from this cradle buff. You need to put it in though, however. You will just do 25% more damage when you throw a grenade, or any tactical item, doesn't have to be a grenade, as well as the Deviation Master. Alright, here we go. Alright, so our damage right now is 444, throw the dagger, and now we're doing 663, so that dagger is gonna be very useful. Very, very, very. As well as... Okay, I'm leaving the dungeon because he just tackled me, or did that web thing. So this boss is also considered a great one. Let's throw this. I missed. Boom, summon the Deviant. Oh, come on, man. He just hits me like that. I'm not even close to you, sir. Alright, it goes to its immune state. These things are gonna despawn. I'm gonna have to shoot the eggs out, which I cannot see because of these stupid babies. So when the smoke spawns, I'm gonna start healing right now. My Deviant is already gone. I'm gonna have to heal up like that. I'm gonna use the green heals. So basically, with the spider boss, if you're doing this in hard mode, you have to stay in the circle around here and behind the pillar. And you just tank basically the smoke until it disappears. And then once it does, you can see I'm not taking damage anymore. And this is why we have the Festering Gel Deviant, because I can just heal from it whenever I want. So I have medicine to heal with, and I have activators to heal with. Now, since the eggs are dead, I can now do this. Summon the Deviant, do that. And let the melting begin. It should die in one go. See, you cannot do that though. You cannot one phase the boss. This boss has 3 phases that you have to go through, which is the 3 bars. Or 2 phases, sorry. Now we have to do the same thing again. I have to wait, sit here, and then we have to kill the eggs again. However, they're so annoying to find sometimes. If you scan, you can actually see some of it, but it's very hard to find them. Let's heal up. Oh wow. Almost died. My Deviant's gonna be up, so I'll be able to heal up right now. I'm gonna summon it, and it's just gonna heal me. And then I'm just gonna heal up again. These spiders, however, are very annoying. Yeah, there's a lot of eggs that we have to kill. I did not even see them. Now, you can throw a grenade like that. All of the spiders are gonna die. Literally throw the grenade in front of you, but... it's kind of risky because you knock yourself. The spider boss is now taking damage once you kill the eggs. We just throw a grenade like that, or a knife. Shoot the boss. Just use this tactical item. So, let's see what we get from this. We got a weapon, we got a vulnerability amplifier, violent. That would be great for our sniper, actually. I want to see that. I'm interested. Please and thank you. Let's delete the purple ones. So what do we get? So the one we got is crit damage plus 9%, max HP increase. I guess it's better than this one that I have, so I'll just use it. I can even upgrade it once. Although it would be better if I got a little bit better one. If I got crit damage and weapon damage. You can see that if I kill a spider with a throwing dagger, it will give you back the throwing dagger. So it's, you know, it's pretty cool. It's kind of cool that you can do that. Let's challenge the dungeon again. Now again, all of these monoliths that you clear, they are considered the gray ones. How am I missing? How am I missing that? Oh my god, it's impossible to hit the dagger. I wasted so much time. The boss is now vulnerable again. I'm gonna throw a grenade to get rid of these dudes. Oh, come on, man. Let's throw a dagger. Let's throw a dagger. Let's throw a dagger. Boom. Deviant on. And we kill the boss. Melted. Schmelted. It's literally immune again. In one mag. I love how inaccurate these daggers are, though. Like, you will throw one, And they just don't hit for some reason. They're very weird. Alright, let's use our heal. Green heals. They will heal you a lot, and then they will just keep healing you for a little bit as you're taking damage. And I'm gonna just use a normal blue heal. I cannot imagine how annoying these small mobs are. We can now do damage to it again. Let's throw the dagger. Summon the deviant. And good night, sir, to you. This is the mods that I used to kill this boss. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. That's it for this Once Human video. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, please click that like button. And of course, if you have any questions, join my Discord. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace out.